is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. This is your host, Osaka Jack. And with me today, I have someone who I believe the screen name is 800 by 600 Cats. Is that right?
Yeah, close enough.
Pixelkitties, hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It is very good to be here.
Oh, thank you for being on. Well, I suppose that leads into the primary question. How did you come by your name, Pixelkitties?
Well, when I was in art school, one of our assignments was to one of our first assignments was to go out and get ourselves a website where we can post our art and have people look at it and give us
Okay,
feedback.
all right,
And they gave us several options, DeviantArt being the most obvious one. So
right.
I went and I made a DeviantArt account and I had all these, whatever screen names I was using for MySpace or whatever was popular at the time. So it was like,
Back in the day.
uh, and they were mostly video game related. It was like 8-bit such and such or NES girl or whatever.
Right,
And none of them, they were all taken because, well, it's DeviantArt.
right.
And so I just sort of ended up with Pixelkitties. I think it's a suggestion even. It's like, well, if you can't get that, try this. So
Okay.
I just went with that and then promptly forgot about the site and didn't use it for the entire time I was in college. And I didn't even pick it up again until My Little Pony came around and I was
Oh,
starting
okay.
to draw these little cartoon horses and I wanted to put them up somewhere and I remembered I had this DeviantArt site. So there it is.
Perfect.
So that's why I think it says I've been a member for 7 years and I've only
Mhm.
been active for what, 2 years, if that. So
That's funny. Well, and I mentioned it before we started recording. There are rumors that there is a company that provides a free service that you have to sign up for, and all they do is check your screen name and the ID that you put and see if it matches other popular sites like Gmail or Hotmail or PayPal.
classy.
Stay classy, Earth. Woohoo!
And it's not Facebook, which is even crazier.
Yeah, I know. It's not Facebook that I'm referring to. Something evil online that's not Facebook. You would
I
think
know.
they could probably file a lawsuit at this point. Hey, that's our trademark. All right, that was bad. That was low. I apologize.
How long until they start building the Facebook Death Star? That's what I want to know.
Instead of annihilating a planet, it just starts sucking up all the data.
Pretty
We
much.
own you now. Well, I have to ask though. One of the icons that we see for Pixelkitties on DeviantArt and I think on your Twitter, it's Batwoman. Is that it?
Yes, it is the new Batwoman from
Okay.
the newish DC universe.
Okay. All right. All right. I just had to check if that was specifically designed to be that or just a huge coincidence.
No, it is Batwoman, and I love the Batwoman comic. It is
Okay.
DC is just kind of bad right now. I mean, they
Oh,
did the new
okay.
52 where they kind of tried to reset a lot of their comics so new users, new readers could jump on board,
Right.
but they really did it. I mean, they're still referencing stuff you have no idea about,
Mm.
continuities and things that. So it was a really bad reset. But Batwoman came about a little before that, and her comic is still around, and it's just awesome. It's
Is it? Okay. Okay.
beautiful painted pages. The writing is really good, and around the time that Batwoman was first coming out, Lauren Faust started doing the Super Best Friends Forever. So
Gotcha.
I did a little comic crossing those over, and since then I've been using a little screen from that as my
I see. I
my
see.
avatar. So yes.
Yeah, I don't get a chance to get American comics at all over here.
Hmm.
So I can order the book sets from Amazon, but at the same time, I'm like, do I want to spend that much money for something I'm not sure? So I
Yeah, a
said,
lot of times getting a graphic novel blind is a big commitment you may regret.
yeah, I
So
know, I know. And I just, I feel guilt every time I throw away a book. So I'm like, no, because I'm afraid
I'm
I'm like,
obligated to hold on to this forever if I buy it. So
right, yes. Back in the States, if I got a bad one, I could give it to my mother or donate it to the library or
sure.
something. Here, I'm just like, all right, into the box you go. Go to the bottom. I banish you, bad comic. Well, if there is one or two people out there who do not recognize you, would you give us a quick rundown of what you do?
Uh, I mostly make Twitter posts about beer and
Mhm.
bothered Equestria Daily with art and stuff. No, uh, I've been doing pony stuff since around the beginning. I think I came in March or April of 2010,
Okay.
so I missed the real beginnings,
Um,
but I was there
did,
pretty
did
early.
2011 maybe since the
Was
show
it
started?
2011?
10 10 10 it started.
10, 10, 10. Okay, never mind. Yes, 2011.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm still thinking it's 2012. That's where the flaw in my
Ah,
reasoning
I
is.
see. I
Okay,
see. Okay.
so yes, 2011, and so since then I've been doing I do comics. At least that's what I was mainly known
Mm,
for a while there. I haven't had time to do a lot lately, but
right.
pony comics. I just do general art and posters and stuff. I design shirts for We Love Fine.
Mm,
I'm lucky enough that I've gotten to do a lot of autograph cards and things for voice actors. So,
mm, mm.
I do a lot of random stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something that's just. I think of all of your stuff, it seems to have exploded recently. Are the autograph cards?
Yeah, that sort of snowballed. It
Yeah.
starts with you do something for Andrea Libman, and then
Mhm.
she tells everyone, and then
Well, it
everyone
tells
writes
and
and
or
wants something.
shows. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, it started with Andrea. She
Hmm.
she had me do something for Everfree or Canterlot. I can't remember now, but I think it was Canterlot Gardens. And since then, I've done I think
I
four
think.
pieces for her.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kathy Westluck, Kelly Metzger,
Hmm.
Marie
Spitfire.
Kay Hendricks, Matt
Oh,
Hill,
that.
Nicole Oliver, Peter
Right.
New. It's just one after another. So
Mhm. I think the most recent one was Andrew Francis, right?
yes, I did something for him 2 weeks ago, and I
Okay.
actually just finished up something for Vincent Tong.
Oh, okay.
So that I guess will be coming out soon because he has a
Hey.
convention coming up.
Woohoo! Very nice.
Who, if people don't know, is Prince Blue Blood
Mhm.
and Donut Joe and the Red Dragon from the Dragon Quest episode.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one. All right, that's nice. But the
So it's very
rain.
cool.
What
It's
did
they're
you?
very nice to me. I don't know why, but they are all
Well,
exceedingly
take a look at
sweet
them.
and
They're beautiful. They're
nice.
really
Thanks.
well done. I love and one of the ones that you did for Andrea Libman for I think it was for the ill-fated Las Pegasus.
Yes.
Hmm. You put a lot of effort into the slot machines that unfortunately didn't get seen very much.
The slot machines were fun. I mean, that's a lot of times like with a piece like that, I worked on it for quite a while
Right.
and no pressure. It's just Andrea Libman, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
so there's a lot of stress involved, but doing all these slot machines was actually a lot of fun and just coming up with these random themes for
Right.
them. So So yeah, and then of course they're in the background and they're hidden behind Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, and you don't really see them. But
Yeah.
it was still a kind of a break in the stress of working on it. So
I find it funny that you and other artists will relax from doing art by doing more art.
I guess it's the context of the art you're doing.
Oh, I
It,
totally understand. I totally understand. When I was in graduate school, I would take a break from the incessant reading by reading a book.
mhm.
And yeah,
And it should. I mean, it should just be art, right? There shouldn't be. It's all in your brain. The different pressure you're putting on yourself doing this
right, right.
versus this. But yeah,
I
there
would
it is.
imagine this, it probably doesn't work for the physical field. Like, I would imagine weightlifters don't take a break by picking up and putting down concrete blocks. But,
Probably
but it,
boxers don't really get relaxed by going to bars and getting in fights with actual people unless I guess they're Mike Tyson, in which
yeah, yeah,
case
yeah.
that might actually be true.
Yeah, I can't imagine a marathon runner saying, just a nice relaxing jog around the park for a few miles and
I don't know. The runners I've known probably would do that.
okay.
Runners are obsessed with running. I wish I
More
was
power
that
to them.
obsessed with running rather than say tacos or
Yeah.
beer.
I I will run if my life is in danger. Other than that, I think a brisk walk is the most that I will honestly do.
That's funny. I actually saw. I think it was on Reddit a couple days ago. There was a an app you could get for your Android device or iPhone, and it's called like I'm chased by dogs, and it simulates being chased by dogs.
Interesting.
you have it running while you're running, and the faster you run, it sounds like they're far away.
Right.
The slower you go, the dogs sound like they're getting closer. So it's an
That's
incentive to run for your life.
that's genius, but honestly, I think it would be better if it was velociraptors.
Agreed. Yes. Although velociraptors, they're pack hunters and they're much more quiet about their coming after you. Dogs
Very
announce
true. Very true. Yeah.
constantly. So.
I'll just have. Okay, so we'll adjust it slightly. When you start the Velociraptor run, you are not alone. There's a large group of you. Some of
Oh,
them run faster than you. Some of them run slower than you. And if you don't catch up, then you won't be the last one alive.
now see that could work.
Mm,
I think there's potential in that idea.
yeah, there is. Oh man, I like this.
You might want to cut this part out and start working on it immediately.
Honestly, if I have to start doing trademark for all of the awesome ideas I have off the cuff, then I would never get anything done. I don't have the capability to do this. I would love to see it happen at some day. We'll just leave it at that. One of the autograph cards that you've done is one that actually came from a comic you did, and I'm referring to the Peter New one.
Yeah,
It
he
started off with the "I'm a Princess, Are You a Princess Too" comic.
he actually saw that. I had done an autograph card for him
Mhm,
last year, and he apparently saw the comic I made and loved the idea of Princess Big Mac.
mhm, mhm.
And he had contacted me, said, "Could you please turn this into a full size card?" So it's like, yeah, okay, Peter New, I would be happy to. Thank you for acknowledging I exist because you're awesome. Um, but yeah, and so that was a lot of fun. And the
Mm,
neat thing was because in the comic it was this flyer that was hanging on a pole like you'd see at a college campus or whatever. You
mhm, mhm.
princess, take a pair of wings and be a princess.
Yeah,
I could turn it into an 8.5 by 11 kind of sheet like that, and it
yeah.
just sort of looks like something you'd see hanging on the bulletin board or whatever.
Mhm, mhm. uh, yeah, and poor Trixie, she wasn't able to get one. Oh,
Poor Trixie. One day, Trixie.
the
I
idea
think
of
it's enough she's best pony. She doesn't also need to be best princess. That you got to leave
yeah,
something for the other ponies to
honestly,
aspire to.
the idea of an alicorn Trixie fills me with awe and dread.
I think you mean great and powerful dread.
Ooh, well played.
I think you mean great and powerful end of life as we know it. Yeah. So,
I want to make a joke about the wheels in my head turning, but then I'll be despised.
yes, you don't want to even broach that subject with Trixie. There's some kind of traumatic incident in her past involving wheels that we're not privy to. So,
Yes. Uh, well, you mentioned it a bit, but yeah, it seems that you do have a slight affinity for Trixie.
Trixie is my favorite pony ever since I the first episode I actually saw was and now my mind is blanking on the name of it.
Hmm.
Dress for Success was
Okay, yeah,
with Rarity, her big episode in
right,
season 1.
right.
And so that was cool. But then I think the next episode I saw chronologically
Hmm.
was Trixie's episode Ghostbusters, and
Okay,
that was it. I mean, that was the coolest, most terrible but wonderful pony that I could ever hope to see.
it was pretty impressive. Yes.
And for a long time, no one really understood it. I mean, this was back, I guess, early on when
Hmm.
nobody really saw the appeal in Trixie. But I just thought she was so cool. Not only you know, I thought she was a neat character because here's
Mhm.
this character who's kind of a villain, but really is just sort of a braggart.
Yeah.
She's not a villain,
Mhm, mhm.
and she had this great voice. I love Trixie's voice,
Yes, it's an excellent
and
voice.
she just has an awesome color scheme,
Yeah.
and the blue and the white with the really cool cutie mark, and
I
she's
have to
the
say
only
though, I
other
think
pony. Oh,
the outfit that she had on really brought out her.
yeah, yeah, clothes make the pony, and
Well,
she
with
had a
hers, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of. I'm not an artist, but from my perspective, her color scheme doesn't seem to be that much different. It's just different shades of a color.
mhm,
So it seems to me that when she has all of her full outfit on, it kind of accentuates that color. And when she
yeah.
takes it off, it's kind of like, oh, well, she's only that color. Oh, little surprise. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. aesthetically she's just really fun. So yes. And then Magic Duel came along and only reinforced how amazing Trixie is. So yes, she is my favorite pony by far.
I think the end of Magic Duel, that is the most Japanese sentence I've ever heard any character in Pony say. That Trixie says, "You can forgive me, can't you?" She doesn't
Yeah, it's
ask
very
to be.
formal, isn't it? And it's
No, no, no.
it's also implying
Well, not
the
formal from
burdens
my
on
perspective.
Twilight,
It
right?
is it is a non-apology apology.
Which is incredibly appropriate.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I hear similar things so often. It's there is a situation that we should be sorry about, but I'm not going to specifically apologize for. Just I hope that you can forgive it.
Being a Trixie apologist, I think the little magic trick she did to help Twilight's performance was the apology. So
Oh yeah, no, no, no.
as much as an apology as you're going to get from her.
I think in Trixie's mind, she fully apologized. I think if you
Sure.
listen to, if you asked her about it later, she'd be like, "Yeah, I did." But not the voice. I can't do Trixie's voice.
I love that episode period. I think, and I'm biased, so take it for what you will, but it's my definitely my favorite episode of season 3. I just think it had the most interesting progression of cause, middle, effect kind of thing.
True.
And just a lot of, and this is something I didn't notice until I was looking at the MLP wiki article in
Mm-hmm.
the gallery for the episode afterwards. The backgrounds for it are just lush. They're really beautiful. The
This is
the
true.
Canterlot back street raining at night, and Trixie's taking over Ponyville with all the symbols and the signs and the statues. It really just
Is
looked
it
great.
ever specifically shown that it's Canterlot? I remember the scene, but I don't recall it being specifically Canterlot. I thought it
I
was
guess I
just
kind of
everything.
assumed it was. It really could be anywhere,
Yeah.
couldn't it? Yeah.
I love the Mogwai dealer.
Yes, that was perfect. A nice Gremlins callback.
And M.A.
It's
Larson on Twitter, he
sweet.
confirmed that that was the inspiration for writing it was the Mogwai dealer. Flat out.
Very, very cool.
I have to admit, the end of season 2, when Queen Chrysalis revealed herself, I when I was watching it, I was expecting like another huge change or something to happen or something similar to that. The same voice actress does Trixie as Queen
Yes,
Chrysalis. Part of me was thinking, is this all Trixie?
I know. And of course I was too, because I wanted more Trixie that season. But yes, absolutely. That's when that episode, the first part of the two-parter ended, I was just like, it's Trixie. It's got to be Trixie, right? And then at the end of the episode, during the actual wedding, there is a pony who looks very much like Trixie in the audience. She actually looks, she's bundled up like a Russian
Okay,
character or a
right, right.
northern character, but the eyes were the wrong color, so
Oh,
no Trixie.
she could have used contacts.
Yeah,
There's no
I guess
reason.
so. Why not?
We've seen ponies with glasses. There's no reason why
That's
they
true.
wouldn't have contacts. Though I would imagine inserting a contact lens with a hoof would really be just,
Awkward.
yeah, ow. I mean,
Takes a lot of practice and a lot of black eyes to
yeah,
pull that off.
I would imagine. Well, unicorns would probably be able to do it, but I imagine earth ponies would just be like, bam. Okay, glasses. We're just going glasses. Ow.
And I know, like with Magic Duel, there were some complaints that, oh, she was evil, but not really. You kind of cheated out in the end. But that was an unenviable task of bringing back Trixie,
Yeah.
because there's so much fanon around the idea of reformed Trixie.
Right.
But at the same time, you kind of have to keep with the actual canon Trixie and as
Yeah.
character she was. So the idea of she's evil but not really in control of herself was,
Yes.
I think, a wonderful middle ground that played it pretty safe and
Oh yeah.
still was very entertaining.
Hmm. Well, you did mention it briefly, but for a bit, and okay, I can segue into this. The
Okay.
Never Trust Wheels shirt.
Yes.
Trixie in a ponytail, which I realize the irony there, but that's just beautiful.
She's just, again, her color scheme works so well with so many things, and she looks really good in clothes.
Yeah.
It really works out. And like I said, I think on the DeviantArt like little description I made, I think if she could stop tormenting Rarity for 10 minutes, they'd probably be pretty good friends. I mean, there's
Possibly, yeah.
they have similar slightly haughty attitudes
Yeah,
and
that's
an
true.
eye for fashion,
That's true.
obviously. So
That's true. Yeah.
the funny thing about that one,
Mm,
at least that shirt design, was that went through quite a few variations. I
okay.
started right after the episode. I knew what I wanted to do as far
Right.
as a shirt goes, which is I wanted to do Trixie riding on top of a DeLorean without wheels and being
Okay.
pulled by snips and snails and saying, "We don't where we're
Where we're
going, we
going,
don't
we
need
don't need
wheels." Yeah.
wheels. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I did, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is awesome." But then Hasbro said no because
Oh,
because I guess it skewed a little too close to the source material and
right.
lawsuits and all that.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So, but I knew I wanted to do something with that quote. I mean, the whole idea of Trixie hating wheels is just too delicious to
Yes.
not go with. So it
Well,
eventually became that.
not necessarily hating, but doesn't trust them.
That's true. There is a
Yes.
distinction.
Yeah.
I take it back. Yes,
Mhm.
they're shady.
Yeah.
Those wheels.
I would assume there are some times where Trixie is forced to acknowledge their usefulness, but at the same time, it's like I'm keeping an eye on you.
Whatever happened had to happen between season 1 and 3 because her wagon had wheels and she didn't seem to have too much problem with those
That's true.
in her
Very true.
original appearance. So
Hmm.
who knows? Maybe she did something wrong on the rock farm and they took the wheels away from her rock cart for a week.
Oh, there we
Who
go.
knows?
That could be. Perhaps that's how she got stranded at the rock farm in the first place.
There you go. Maybe.
A Something went wrong with the wheel, and hey, can I work here for a short time to pay for this? Yes, but now you're ours. Uh,
Oh, that pie family and their rock farm.
well, on the T-shirt thing, how did you get started actually making T-shirt designs for We Love Fine?
Um, it started, and again, I'm having to compute dates in my head. I think it was the end of was it the end of 2011 or 2012?
Okay, I'm not
It
sure.
might have been the end of 2011. They did a contest. We love this is kind of early when We Love Fine was just getting started, and they did a lot of pony contests. I
Right.
think this was their second or third one,
Okay.
and it was design a shirt and have people vote on it and whatnot. And it was very shortly after the season 2 premiere with Discord,
Okay.
and I love the idea of Fluttershy because Fluttershy is she's not my favorite character. She's kind of boring to me. But evil Fluttershy was awesome, right?
Gotcha.
Discorded
Okay.
Fluttershy was great. So I did a t-shirt with her dumping, after having dumped the water on you,
Mm,
and the water's dripping from the collar and it says, your
your
face.
face.
Yes. And I won the contest and I was really excited. And afterwards I'm like, making t-shirts is like crack, you want to keep doing it. So I contacted We Love Fine and I said, I'd really love to keep making some stuff. Here's some other designs.
Mm-mm.
And they said, sure. And eventually they're like, look, if you're going to keep sending us stuff, you might as well join our Mighty Fine Artist program.
Nice.
And so the rest is history. Now I submit stuff and sometimes they say yes and sometimes Hasbro says no, but
Aw.
but it's really cool and it's really fun and it's something
Yeah.
I never thought I would get to do. So,
That's nice. That's,
but yeah.
I also think I only right now I currently own one single Brony shirt,
Mhm.
and that's just I love the Wheel of Fine items, but oh my goodness, international shipping.
Oh, I've
Oh,
heard that. Yeah, painful.
oh. Well, and add it to the fact that I'm not quite sure that their largest size will fit me.
Mhm.
I'm much more hesitant to just try to get one. I'm going to wait until I can try it on, pretty
Well, you're
much.
going to go to Everfree Northwest,
Yes,
right?
which
So
is
I'm
where I'm
pretty
intending to
sure
do
they're
that.
going to have a
Yes,
presence there.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely. But the one shirt that I do have is from the BronyCon documentary. It was one of my
Oh, which
props.
yes, which I did.
Yes, exactly.
Yay! Did you find your name on it?
Oh, yes, I did. Yep, yep, yep. My
Cool. All
my
right.
name is actually rather easy to see. I didn't go with my screen name, so sorry, guys. You won't find it. But no, yep, my name was easily found. I'm like, there I am. I'm on a shirt that I'm wearing. Wait, that's ego.
Oh my goodness, that shirt was typography is hard. It's
Yes.
very rewarding when it's done, but It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that has anybody on the shirt, has anybody said you spelled my name wrong?
I did make one mistake. There was a little bit of back and forth. At first it was going to be this many names, and
Right.
it's like we cannot. If you want it to be legible, we cannot have, whatever, 16,000 characters on a
Right.
T-shirt. You're just not going to be able to see anything.
Right.
So we culled it down to a certain number of people, and then there were a couple different lists going back and forth, and two names ended up missing from the final list,
Oh.
which was sad because they were upset and I felt terrible.
Oh yeah.
and but thankfully we did a second printing of the shirt and I was able to add them back in and
Oh
they
good.
got their shirts with their names on them. So
That's good. That's good.
happy ending, but yeah, I felt truly horrible about that because that's exciting getting to see your name on something and you
Yeah.
don't want the disappointment of staring at how many hundred names and not finding your own. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not something that I'm necessarily going to brag to people about because I don't know, bragging about it I find equal to the people who would bring a copy of their Who's Who, like, look, my name's in here.
I
Yeah.
knew people who did that. So
Really? Oh,
oh
wow.
yes.
That was always funny to me because the only people who cared were the people who were in the book.
Right. Nobody was scared. So
And I realize this is different, but there is an aspect of that to it, I think, is just, look, I'm on a shirt. Well, what shirt is that? Oh, never mind.
no, it's certainly not something braggable, but it's also something cool that when you
Yeah,
get it, oh yeah, I took part. And
yeah, yeah. Which t-shirt design has been the most popular? Do you know?
uh the one I've sold the most of overall has been the Derp 209, which is Derpy riding a robot that looks
Right,
sort of like Ed 209.
right,
I
right.
think I've sold 600 or 700 of those since
Wow.
that came out. Your Face was really popular, but
Of
that ended up being pulled a
really?
while ago because of the design with the dripping water on the neckline. It was wreaking havoc with the printing machines having this collar design, so they couldn't
Okay.
do it anymore,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's a shame.
um,
So if you have one, take care of it. Don't put
yes,
it in the dryer.
I do have one, and I've never worn it because I'll never get another.
Well,
Um,
it's usually fine. Just, gentle cycle on the washer. Don't put it in the dryer. Let it drip dry or let it air
Turn it
dry.
inside out before you wash it to
Exactly. Yes.
protect the image.
Hmm, hmm.
Yeah, We Love Fine is very nice. They send you a cool little card, illustrated comic card with how to take care of your shirt, and,
Oh, that's
and
good.
it's very neat. They're really sweet. They have been amazing to me. Again, I have this view of my stuff and my work with the pony thing that it's just like I'm just a fan making stuff that makes me happy, but so many people are so nice to me and give me so much praise, and I don't get it, but I do
That
appreciate it.
is
I
that
just don't see it.
that is definitely a mark of a very good artist. Is that they look at their own
Eh.
stuff. No, a person. There are some people who brag about their work, and some rightfully so, and that's fine. But at the same time, I don't quite find them very interesting to talk to.
And that's the thing. It's through observation. I have friends who I
Hmm.
really like who brag about their stuff a lot,
Mm.
and it just it's not for me. It
Leaves a
just
bad
I'm
taste in my
uncomfortable with
mouth.
it. Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this show for 6 months now, and I still, when I'm doing the audio editing, I'm like, oh God, my voice sounds like that. Oh, ugh. I don't like it. A lot
I
of
know that feeling. Yes.
a lot of people have been telling me I have a good voice, and I'm starting to maybe believe them. But at the same time, I'm like, really? No, no. Yeah,
There was for the Brony documentary. They're
okay.
like, "You want to be in it?" It's like, "No,
Mm.
thank you, but no."
You were in it. You were in it. I saw.
I wasn't interviewed though. I,
Ah,
I
okay,
I
okay.
ended up in a background scene. I think I was handing a Trixie thing to Seth in one
Yes,
scene, but
yes. I've got
yeah,
something for you. Oh, you got something for me. I think that was your line.
yes. Did I pull it off? That's the question. No.
Oh yeah, really believable. How many takes was that?
Oh, at least 10.
Okay.
I kept saying, "I've got something for you. I've me something you got." No, it's yeah, but no, I didn't.
Shatner kitties, I've got
Exactly.
something for you.
which com- completely not related to anything. But
Okay.
I watched Wrath of Khan the other night, and it amazes me that that's the same William Shatner who was in everything else William Shatner ever did because he's so good. He's
Yeah.
so much range in that movie, and yet just about everything else is is classic Shatner. So yes,
Well, if you don't mind, what's the flip side of that? Which t-shirt design has sold the fewest?
that is a good question. I could
I
pull it
think
up real
you
quick,
mentioned it
but
to me. Uh,
oh yes, it's a recent one. So,
yeah.
but it's the was it? Yeah, it was the Princess Cadence and Shining Armor shirt. That was it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which it sold a few, but it's definitely the weakest of everything I've ever done. And
It
it's
just
just
shocks me because it's beautiful.
it's nice. And I did a series sort of like that with two characters
Right.
and done in that style, and all the others did great except that one. Nobody likes the one true pairing, right? It's just
Very odd. And I think your comment was great in that no love for Canon shipping.
no, no. But that's the story of any fandom, isn't it? I mean, where's the
Yeah.
fun in it if it's just handed to you?
Yeah, I guess.
But and conversely, I did for St. Patrick's Day. I think it was their first shirt with Lyra and Bon Bon
Okay.
on it, and it was the hug me, I'm Irishish one,
Right.
and that sold like gangbusters.
Really? Oh, okay.
And again, people want shirts with their fanon on it. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily want. And then it's a challenge, of course, doing this stuff, which Hasbro doesn't necessarily want to endorse or say, yes, that's correct or
Mm.
that's part of the real pony universe,
Right, right.
but still do it in a way that it's fitting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a challenge.
I love that t-shirt design. I hope they have that one when I go to Evergreen Northwest. I hope they have it in my size.
The Cadence and Shining Armor.
Yes. Yes.
I will tell them that there is a market for it, or they might bring at least one. So
At
let me know
least
your
one,
size,
please,
and
guys.
I will
Please,
let them know.
please bring one in the largest size that you guys make, because yes, I want it. Okay.
If I was going to be there, I could specifically have it at my table. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it to that one. But
Yeah, that's sad. Not going to be at Evergreen Northwest. No.
I haven't done a lot of conventions this year. Last year, I went to like every convention, and it was kind of exhausting.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But and this year, there's just so many conventions.
Yeah.
It's you looked at the beginning of the year, at least there were 24 separate conventions with a
I
few
saw.
more trying to get funding to even start. So there
I
could
know
have.
that there's a list going around. I know at the beginning of the year there were over 30 listed. I'm not
Yeah,
sure how many have been since redacted, but
I know at least three or four
yeah,
have been taken off
yeah,
that
yeah.
list. But it made it. I mean, that I understand everybody wants to have something in their own backyard.
Yes,
Everyone wants to have this successful convention where all their
sure.
friends and people from all over come together.
Hmm.
But it hurts everyone in the long run because not everyone can attend every convention. And there's a
Yes.
finite number of fans and vendors and voice actors
Hmm.
to go around.
Yeah,
So
very true, very true.
I'm really
I
hope
I think I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I would have preferred it if there had been a dozen conventions and maybe call them large gatherings or
sure.
large meetups.
Yeah, group meetups or mass meetups or something. You look back, I mean, even way back, the first conventions were I guess they did a few BronyCons, and I went
Yeah.
to the second one they did.
Oh, okay.
That was 900 people, and it was crazy.
I'm sure.
And that's pretty reasonable
Mhm.
for this size, a larger meetup kind of thing. But
Right.
with people like with Unicon,
Hmm.
where they're saying we're doing this convention, it's going to be huge, and we're planning for 2,000 to 6,000 people. You're setting up really difficult expectations,
Yeah, you are.
and it's a business. And if you're not able to deliver, you have a disaster, and we've
Hmm.
we've seen that happen.
Yes, we have.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully next year brings maybe three or four core conventions and then maybe some more smaller meetup style ones, regional
Sure.
meetups
There's
to
nothing wrong with a convention being the size that it is. I.
no. One of the best conventions I went to last year was
Mm.
TrotCon,
Okay.
which was in Cleveland,
Hmm.
and it was. I don't remember what their total attendance was. It was probably 1,000,
Okay.
and they didn't have any VAs, and it was great. Everyone had a
Oh,
really good time. There was a
mhm.
lot less pressure,
Sure, sure.
uh, a lot less anxiety dealing with VIPs and things like
Right,
that.
right.
But it was great.
I haven't, again, I haven't been to any, but I haven't heard anybody speak ill of Pwn 3Con, and that was another smaller one.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I didn't get to go that one, but
Mm.
I've heard really good things, and the
Yeah,
people who went had a fun time
yeah.
without all the pressure and management
Mhm.
involved in a huge con.
I think for me, the difference seems to be if it's a small con and it realizes it's a small con, that's fine. I just don't like it when it's a small con trying to pretend that it's a large con. And
And
yeah,
that's what you saw a lot of, at least going into 2013.
right.
When
Yeah.
that list you're talking about was published, it was a lot of small conventions and
Hmm, hmm.
small meetup groups saying, "Well, we're going to try and do something bigger,
Yeah.
and we're going to try and get this venue that holds so many people, and we're going to have to pay for that, and we're going to
Hmm.
have to get the attendance for that," and
Yep.
it just didn't work out. So I would be happy to see less conventions next year, and then hopefully I can go to a lot more. So
That's an irony, but it absolutely makes sense.
no, it does. It
Yep.
does. You can only spread yourself so thin when
Yeah.
you've got a job and a life,
Hmm.
kind of a life that doesn't involve cartoon horses. So,
uh, and for the lucky few of us who are able to incorporate some of one into the other.
yes, yes, that's always nice too.
Oh, yes. I consider myself lucky every Friday evening because I can go, yay, I close out my week teaching pony.
Yay!
There is no better way to start your weekend. I tell you what, doesn't matter how stressful that week has been, I finish with an hour of pony, I'm good.
I need to start doing that. That sounds like a great way to reduce the stress of the week.
It really does. Yeah. Well, we briefly touched on it a long time ago, but you seem to be a definite beer connoisseur.
I am. I am. I think the proper term is beer snob. Actually, I think in the beer world, snob is considered a term of endearment. So yes,
I would only classify it as snob if you get angry if somebody chooses a beer that you do not like.
I may get angry, but I won't berate them about it.
Okay, well then that's fine. I wouldn't say snob then. Yeah.
But yeah, I come from a family and large friends group of people who enjoy beer and good beer and like talking about beer and posting to websites about beer
Right, right.
and even making beer.
Ooh.
My family makes beer and wine, and it's very, very cool.
I vaguely recall around the time of Everfree Northwest last year there was a pumpkin spice. Was that correct? No.
No.
Uh,
Now I
no.
think a local brewery, I think, did a Discord
Okay,
beer.
okay. That might be it then.
The the thing I did with for the couple brony cons, it's not something I sold, but I brought for some of my other beer snob friends, and
Right.
was the Arrogant Trixie Ale, which
That
was my
was it.
family's
Yes. Yes.
interpretation of arrogant bastard. Can I say bastard ale?
We'll find out in a second. Okay.
Arrogant something ale.
Right, right. Okay.
Which the tagline for their beer is "You're not worthy," which seemed completely appropriate for Trixie.
Yeah, absolutely. Though it is in a circular shape, the bottle, which could be a wheel, and I don't know. Okay. But at the
Is
time
there a
that you
line
released
between
that, there
circles
wasn't.
and wheels? I don't know.
I don't. I'm curious if you've ever tried any of the Japanese beers.
There when I go to our local really cool sushi restaurant, I have had Sapporo. I believe
Okay.
that's
Okay.
a Japanese beer, which is very good.
Mhm.
It's more of an American style lager,
Right.
which is weird because it's Japanese, but it's that style, which I'm usually not crazy about, but it's good. As far as that goes,
Mhm, mhm.
it's way better than Budweiser or Icy Light or Michelob or anything like that.
I see. The the one that I go for, quite honestly, if you get the chance to order it, is Asahi Super Dry.
I have never even heard of that, but I am curious.
Well, the larger beer companies in Japan, Sapporo is one of them, Kirin is another, and
I've had
Asahi.
Kieran, yeah.
Asahi is actually very popular over here. It's quite prolific. You see it in almost every
Wow.
bar. And my favorite version is Asahi Super Dry. It's I do not enjoy it if it's in can, but if you pour it into a glass and it's good.
I need to try that. That really sounds good. You're selling me on it. So
Now I can tell you, in Japan, the preferred beer to head ratio is 7-3. So
7 beer, 3 head, I
no,
assume.
no, 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 no. They want, well, yeah, 7 beer, 3 head. Yeah, so they want 30% head on their beer. That is perfect ratio for a Japanese beer.
Interesting.
Hmm. As opposed to a lot of Americans wanting the 0 and 10.
Right. A lot of beer aficionados don't want a lot of head. They don't want a lot of head on their beer.
Mm,
They want lacing, which is the light head
correct.
clinging to the sides of the
Yeah,
glass.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I can understand that. And before I came here, I honestly believe that was the best way to have it. But I tell you what, it seems to match the Japanese beer that I've had. It I don't know if it brings out the flavor or if it's just the environment that I had it in, but I honestly cannot imagine having my Asahi Super Dry without 30% head at this point.
well, not only that, you want to get the mustache. So you don't
Yes, this
get
is true.
that with these snobby upper class beers. So,
That's true. That's true. uh, you may find this interesting though. There is a Japanese equivalent out, and it's a bit early in the morning. Haposhu. I'm not sure the
okay,
exact name. Beer has a certain tax level to it,
okay.
which makes it really expensive. Just phenomenally expensive here. Far more than I was used to in America, and it shocked me to death. However, this only applies to beer. So there are some hop flavored alcoholic beverages in a can.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
They are, it's beer. It
Yeah,
tastes like
it's
beer.
beer
It
by another
foams
name.
like beer. It has the same alcohol level as beer. It's beer, but it isn't made the exact same way as beer, and they gave it a different name, and it has a lower tax rate.
That is so weird that that they go out of their way to. I mean, it makes sense,
Yeah,
but
and
wow.
if you're strapped for cash, you're like, well, I can't afford beer, but I can have this haposhu, and it's almost as good if you're at home. If I'm going out, there's no way in heck I'm going to order that. No way. But if I'm at home, yeah, why not? Let's have one.
Interesting. Well, there's plenty of American beers that I kind of refuse to qualify as beer, but that's an entirely different kind of situation.
Mhm. Yes, I know. My hometown is St. Louis, so I understand what you're talking about.
Yes, I have been there and I have taken the Budweiser factory tour just for the heck of it once, and you get beer at the end in
Mm.
little plastic cups, and it tastes like Budweiser. So there you go.
I don't know if it was available when you went, but at the end you can request which type of Budweiser, and they do have some dark ales.
Yes, and that is what I had. I don't remember what it was at the time, but
Granted,
yes.
I realize it's not the quality of a lot of dark ales out there, but I would argue it's better than the regular Budweiser.
Oh yes.
The brewery tour is free, and you get snacks and 2 beers at the end.
Yes.
I tell you what, living in St. Louis, there was never a better trip because you can go to the Anheuser-Busch brewery, go to a tour in the morning, get 2 beers and a snack, get back in line, go on a tour again.
I never even thought of that, but that's there you
They
go.
they have a limit of 2 or 3 times per day per person, and they do watch.
I was wondering if they watched that closely.
Yes, yes, they do. Um, but yeah, it was fun because you go there for free, you get 4 beers, whatever. Not so far away is the St. Louis Zoo, which is the largest free zoo in North America,
Hmm?
and it's next to the St. Louis Art Museum, which is free. There's a lot of free stuff in St. Louis, I can
Yeah,
tell you.
Pittsburgh doesn't work like that. Our art museum is great. The Carnegie Museum and the
Mm.
History Museum are awesome. They're also expensive. We
Uh,
have a really nice zoo, but it costs like $15 to get in.
oh
So
my goodness. Wow.
not as much of a spirit of altruism with our cultural society in Pittsburgh.
It is, yeah. Honestly, I recommend if you're going to visit St. Louis, do the brewery tour, go to the zoo, go to the art museum, and then leave. Everybody does.
You know, yeah, St. Louis was fun. It was a very pretty city. The arch was fun.
Yes, yes.
Going up in that weird little elevator in the arch, and
Isn't it terrifying?
it was a little bit
Yeah.
fun but terrifying.
The fun thing is, the arch is an optical illusion, and it actually is a. It's not an arch; it's a circle.
Oh, see, did not know that unless they mentioned it and I forgot it, which is entirely possible.
The base of the arch is very wide, and the top is very narrow, so it fools your eye into believing that it's an arch. But no, it's actually a. It's an arc, and
That
the
is
elevator that
very
you went
cool.
on is literally a. It's a circle.
Hmm.
It goes down one end, goes a perfect circle, and comes back up the other end.
That is really cool.
Yeah, terrifying though. Well, something I would like to mention just a bit
Yes.
because I'm uh, at the near the end of season 2 there was a movement that you had a large part in, and that is the I believe in M.A. Larson.
Yes. Yes, that I started that with that little button design
Hmm.
somehow.
I'm fairly sure that everybody here is familiar with this, but
For better or for worse. Yeah, I got a variety of responses to it,
really, okay.
which is depressing to a certain extent. I mean, yeah, you get really nasty, terrible messages and emails and whatever
You
about
did? Oh my
it.
goodness.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I I
about a cartoon show about ponies. Yeah,
Some people were really angry at the idea of it, and it, just for posterity's sake, why don't we set up what this happened, what occurred here?
sure. Well, it was, like you said, it was the end of season 3, and in the weeks and months prior, we'd all gotten the inklings of what was going to happen, like the sticker book that came out that had a picture of a winged Twilight in it,
Right.
buried in it, and toys popping up from Tybo and whatnot. And not Tybo, it's like Taobao. I
Taobao.
totally
Yeah.
butchered that name.
That's okay.
Yeah, but yeah. And so we kind of knew it was coming, although you still had plenty of people who were kind of in denial and are like,
Hmm.
"No, that's a mistake. That is a production error of some kind." But yeah, it came to pass that of course Twilight became an alicorn
Mhm.
princess, or at least an alicorn. Her
Yeah.
princesshood is, I guess, kind of up for debate, but and so in the probably 3 weeks to a month before the episode even aired, there
Mm.
was a ton of anger and
Yes.
in the Transformers fandom there was always this term ruined forever,
Hmm. Hmm.
which anytime they changed something, anytime they had a new series, it ruined the IP forever, no matter what it was. And of course then it died down and the next thing would ruin it forever. So there was a
Right.
lot of outcry about ruined forever for My
Hmm.
Little
Hmm.
Pony. And my M.A. Larson is kind of a friend of mine, and I think he's just incredibly talented, and
I would
at the
agree.
same time, really kind to our community and really
Yes.
open with just like being fun and trading
Oh yeah.
barbs with us and giving us little hints of things. And he
Hmm.
was really integral after the whole situation with Las Pegasus of getting out there and helping raise money for people who were stranded and in
Hmm.
difficult financial. He's just an amazing guy.
Yeah. He was actually
And
the first show staff person I ever interacted with, and that was on Twitter.
really,
It was on Twitter. It was late at night. Full Papers was in Italy, so he was closer to my time, and the only person that would be up would be M.A. Larson, so we would have some Twitter conversations.
nice.
And
Yeah,
it
that's I
really
think that's
affected me.
and that's it. He's just really easy to kind of just have a conversation with, and
Yeah.
at the same time he's a really good writer. He's written some of the very best episodes of the
Hmm.
show. So
Sure.
and so a lot of hate was being directed at him,
Right.
as if we all knew that this was kind of from Hasbro saying this is our new direction and you kind of have to work with it.
Hmm.
But it's much easier to pick on someone who has a social network site than it is a huge corporation. So of
Right.
course there was a lot of anger on Twitter and Tumblr and everywhere else about M.A. Larson.
Hmm.
So I'm like, well, darn it, I like M.A. Larson. I support M.A. Larson. And
Hmm.
so I combined him with that button from from the Dark Knight, the I
Hmm.
believe in Harvey Dent button,
Right.
and I made a kind of Twilight version with his name on it,
Hmm. Hmm.
which some people pointed out ironic that it was meant ironically in the movie, and I kind of co-opted it, and it's yeah,
Eh.
but whatever. Whatever. The intent behind it was simply the face value.
Right.
I believe in M.A. Larson.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I made that my Twitter icon for a while, and
Quite
I'd
a few
post
people did.
occasionally. Yeah, and it kind of blew up. The next thing
I
I
do
know, the
remember
second
that
person.
for a while there, I had no idea who was speaking because most of my feed was "I believe in M.A. Larson" buttons.
I remember that. Yes, it became a little confusing, which eventually people started putting in the lower right-hand corner of their regular icon,
Yeah.
which made it much easier. But
Yes. Yes.
but yeah, and then Ma picked up on it, and you know he was sort of doing stuff with it and made it his Twitter icon, and
Hmm.
it was just really cool. And it was
Yeah.
again this fun little moment of fans interacting with the creators in a way
Hmm.
that's not put my favorite character in, you jerk, kind of kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so you know it it worked both ways though, right? Because the people who were dead set on being angry about this development
Hmm.
rallied around it in an opposite way, saying, "Oh, this is a symbol of how the show is pandering, and there's too much interaction, and there were all these parody buttons made that I don't believe in M.A. Larson and whatever else. You know,
Which
Pixelkitties is a
I'm sorry,
huge jerk, and I hate her. Yeah,
I'm sorry, but making one that just has that "don't" in there, that all that's doing is showing that you are aware of the original one and how much better it is than any design you can come up with.
yeah. I mean, sometimes they'd use the hue and saturation tool to like turn it to a greenish color instead. I guess that makes it the opposite too. I
Yeah,
don't.
great, wonderful, good, original. Nice job.
And it was so popular that I decided to make actual buttons because I have a
Hmm.
button maker that I make
Mhm,
buttons for the conventions and whatnot. And I made a bunch of buttons, and I ran a couple little giveaways where people could
right.
get the buttons, and I'd send them out to them. And M.A. Larson wanted 30 buttons, so I sent him a bunch of buttons so he could give them away to people.
Hmm.
And it was just really cool. It was fun, and I was very happy to show my support
Sure.
and just yeah. But I got on DeviantArt and I know some other places there was some nasty notes and
Oh, that's a
stuff
shame.
like
I'm sorry about that.
well, I mean that's just the way it goes. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not like no one should say anything bad to me. I'm awesome. No, I am as open to criticism and
Well, I think that's the
vitriol
difference
than
there.
anyone. But,
This isn't it's not criticism just to personally say that you suck.
well, yeah, yeah.
That's just venting
And
horribly.
and I also do understand that a lot of people were disappointed. I mean, it is frustrating to think that the show that we've all kind of rallied around and loved and
Mm,
have kind of made our own, even though that's not really fair to say
right.
because we're not the target demographic, but
Sure, sure.
we have embraced it. To
Hmm.
see it taken by corporate entities or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
and tinkered with,
Hmm.
um, and I understand that, I do,
Yeah.
but again, taking it out on people isn't the right way
No,
to do it.
that's just not cool. Not
No.
at all.
So, and that's another thing. A lot of people kind of came to me and said, "Well, you're downplaying how upset we are about this, and you're making light of it." No, I'm not. It's just saying I don't feel that way. I think M.A.
Yeah.
Larson is very cool and nice, and whatever happens, I think he's going to do a great job with it.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. I'm looking forward to his book coming out soon. I really am.
yeah, me too.
Yep. But
He is just very neat, very
Mhm.
neat guy.
Well, a question that I ask in all of my interviews that you're not escaping from, uh, and I can probably guess, but yeah, we'll just see what it comes to. What would you say in all of My Little Pony? What is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Oh goodness sakes! Wow.
Mm.
Mentally going through everything in the show ever.
Isn't that great that we can do that instead of just saying, "Well, it has to be from here." We could just like all these scenes running through. Oh, that no, no, that one. Oh, no, 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 that. Oh,
Uh, A line. I don't know if there's a line necessarily,
Scene is okay, and I've had a few people do an entire episode, but
but I think Rarity Song from Suited for Success
okay,
is probably the one thing that, if you were just asked me to break down My Little Pony into this one thing, it
mhm,
would be that sequence.
okay, okay.
Because musically, it's really clever and really
Yes.
smart.
Hmm, hmm.
Aesthetically, it's a wonderful little song, and it's sung really well.
Yep.
And at the same time, it's a parody, of this Broadway tune.
Yeah, the
And it's
Sondheim
all
classic.
these things. Yeah, it's Sondheim. It's,
Hmm, hmm.
if you're gonna do a parody of the best, right? And
Exactly.
so it's all these things at the same time, coupled with this beautiful animation, which, yeah, okay, it's Flash animation. I understand that there's sort of people who say, oh, it's just Flash. But
Yeah.
you look at the way the scene was organized, you look
Hmm,
at every character having their little moment with the backgrounds, and
hmm,
it just was so well done.
hmm, hmm.
So yeah, if I had to break it down to one single thing, it would definitely be that sequence in that episode.
Huh.
Even now, 2 seasons later, that would be it for me.
And I was totally wrong. Okay. I was sure you were going to select Trixie. Okay.
And it's very tempting to, say naysayers or whatever, but I mean, as much as I love Trixie, I don't think she's the best introduction to the show for
I can
anybody, right?
understand that. Sure. No, I thought you were going to do Tech Rat when he was on the show. He selected the last time we saw Trixie as she was running away. She does a full-on face plant
Which I
and
love. Yeah,
then just gets right back up and keeps going. And that, taken in the proper light, that's very inspirational because
it
sometimes in
is.
life you're gonna face plant. Don't obsess over it. Don't just get
Don't
up,
stand up
keep
and
going.
cry. Just keep going.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I could see that. That was a very good choice.
That was, I mean, that was a heck of a face plant. Just legs splayed out both ways. Wham!
What an adorable way to end the episode. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
for all the stuff with Trixie, and she was really, when she was under the influence of the evil amulet, she was evil. She did some
Oh
awful
yeah.
things, but
Hmm, hmm.
that one moment was so cute.
Yep. Absolutely. Ah. Well, which conventions are you going to be attending this year, or don't know? I mean, we said not Everfree Northwest.
Let's see. I am doing TrotCon again
Okay.
this year, which
Hmm.
is June, first weekend of June, second weekend of June. I don't have the dates in front of me, so
Right.
I'm not
Okay.
even going to
Okay.
guess. But go to their websites and it'll be all there. So I'm going to TrotCon. I'm going to BronyCon,
Hmm.
which is in Baltimore this year,
Yep.
and I'm going to Nightmare Nights, which is in Dallas.
Okay.
And
Okay.
those are the three that I'm going to do this year.
Oh. Nightmare Night wouldn't happen to be on Halloween, would it?
It is beginning of November, so it's just after
Ooh.
Halloween. I think
Okay.
it is the last convention of the year.
I see.
So, and Chef Sandy's pretty involved with that from the Bronyville podcast.
Okay. Right.
So,
Right. Right.
him being a friend, he asked me to take part, and I've never been to Dallas, so yeah, we'll do that one.
Nice.
So it'll be fun. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot less than the 7 or however many conventions I did last year, but
Mm.
yeah,
It's three more than I've been able to do.
who knows? Soon enough, there may be conventions popping up in Japan. I mean,
There may be. Um, I
competing with all the other pop culture stuff going on over there.
I
But
don't know if there will be a specific pony convention, not for quite a while, but I'm sure you will see pony presences.
mhm.
I'm sure that will happen. Yep. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to plug while you're here?
uh, not really. I'm
Okay.
really thankful for the interview, and it was really fun just talking to you. I mean,
Oh, good.
this was cool.
Oh,
Just
nice.
not even it being an interview, just sitting down and talking about ponies and
Yeah.
what other randomness was really awesome. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, that's what I aim for.
Yay!
Well, everybody, be sure to follow Pixelkitties on Twitter, DeviantArt, Tumblr. We love
We love
fine.
fine. Yes.
We love fine. Yep. And buy her beer if you see her.
Or ask for beer. I can't sell beer, but if you like beer, let me know and I'd be happy to bring you one.
There you go. Excellent. Everyone, we have been speaking with Pixel Kitties tonight on Into the Spotlight. Thank you so much for coming.
And thank you so much for having me.
Everyone that says Osaka Jack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.